What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the homestead. Today, I have finally fulfilled a lifelong dream, a lifelong goal. I have always wanted a boat so bad, and I finally got one. Now, honestly, the story about this boat is better than the boat itself, but the boat is super, super cool. Let me give you a quick little tour of the boat, and then I can show you tell you the story on it. But it is a custom-made wooden boat, so it's made all out of wood there. It's got a fiberglass bottom, and it's got the original 1953 Evinrude 15 horsepower two-stroke motor on it, and it still runs perfect. So it's 18 foot long, and it's got this kind of comes up to a point there. It's kind of an interesting shape, and then it's got a nice little cubby. Oh my gosh, there we go. Cubby with an anchor and everything, and I got to get some life jackets and stuff, but I have a nice little cubby to keep it on there. And it rained all day today, and the one concern I had was, is this going to keep water out or hold water in? And you can see the water all over in there. There's no drips, no leaks, no nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug and let all this water drain out of here. It's nice knowing that it will there. It's nice knowing that it will hold water, or I guess not leak is the better. But look at this original Evinrude 15 horsepower. So here's the gas tank. It is two-stroke. You fill that up with gas, and then you connect your line right here to that. You got your connections, and then you got, look how beautiful shape this thing's in. I mean, look at that motor, still clean. I mean, this motor's over 75 years old. It came with oars, and it's even got the oar locks for being able to row the boat if the motor fails. And now for a quick story on this thing. So I'm here in central Illinois, outside of Peoria. There is a small town on the other side of the Illinois River, just that way a few miles, that's called Liverpool, Illinois. This boat was built in Liverpool in 1953. It was commissioned by a military man back then, and he said, when I get home from the military, I want a boat in my driveway. And the guy that built it made good with his promise, and he brought the boat and put it down in his driveway. And when he came home, there it was in his driveway waiting for him. Now, the positive side is the boat came with a title and everything. It's completely titled. The bad news is it's a homemade trailer. The trailer does not have a title, and I can't register it unless I can get it approved for a homemade trailer title, in which case I would still have to build some sort of wheel well there, because to have a legal trailer, it needs to have wheel wells. Now, honestly, I wasn't really planning on buying this boat. I did not check this boat out enough to really make a sound decision on whether I should buy it or not. I looked at it and I was like, oh man, a wood boat from the 1950s. I'm not sure how well that's going to hold up. Does it leak? Does it hold water? It said no leaks. It said motor runs good. I still have yet to test all of that out, but you can see how beautiful the motor is, the shape that it's in and everything. So I'm pretty confident that it's going to run just fine. And now that I can see that after this rainfall that it held water, I think I'm going to have fun in this little thing. I'm really excited about it. And how I really came to do, there's this huge farm auction that goes on the first Saturday of every March here locally. It's only about 10 miles from my house, and it's kind of like my favorite holiday of the year. You know, you can really get some good cheap stuff. There's not a real high income people in this area that just tends to kind of bring more lower income people getting really good deals on stuff. So you can really plan. Some things go for pretty expensive, but some things you can get dirt cheap. So the auction was pretty much over, and all that was left was this row of boats and cars. And I decided to stick around because the auction got done a little bit quicker than it normally did. And just curious, being a boat lover and always wanting a boat, was curious on what the boats were going to go for. So I was just really over there to watch the boats and see what they kind of went for. So I wasn't really going in there planning on getting a boat. My father is retiring this year and planning on buying a brand new boat, and was going to give me his old 2001 Bass Tracker with a 25 horsepower Mercury motor on it. So I really didn't need to buy this boat. I've been expecting to get a much better boat here real soon. But I tell you, man, I was just standing there watching this go. They started the bidding at 500. Nobody took, so then they dropped it down to 250. Nobody bid on it, so then they dropped it down to 100. Nobody bid on it, and then this guy standing next to me bid $50. And honestly, I wasn't really even going to bid on it there. They were really trying to get somebody to bid. They were 75, 75, 75, anybody 75, 75, I got 50, 75, 75. And they really let it go longer than they normally do because they really just wanted somebody to bid. $50 for this boat is just way too cheap. So I looked over at that guy, and I'm not gonna lie. I'll be 100% honest. I was petty, just being an asshole. I wasn't real happy with his attitude a lot of the times, and the way he was talking to people and his family and stuff. And I could tell he was just going to scrap this thing. That's what he was. He was a scrapper. He was out there trying to get metal for dirt cheap so he could take it in and scrap it for a profit. So I figured he was not even going to take this boat and even put it on the water. He was going to either try and flip it, or he was going to take that motor right off, scrap it, and do whatever else with the boat. And scrap the trailer, So I couldn't in good conscience give this boat to this guy for $50. So I wasn't even planning on buying it. I was more just planning on running it up and being an asshole, trying to make that dude spend more on this boat that he wanted. And so I was like, screw it, I'll do 75. Well, then that guy looked me directly in my eyes and said, nope. So I stood there, and they tried getting somebody to bite it at 100. Nobody else bit, and I got this boat for $75. $75. Now, I went out to eat that night, took the whole family out to eat, and we spent more than $75 just on our meal for the whole family. So I can tell you, I spend more than $75 when we go out to eat with the family. We're a family of 5. So this is the best $75 I've ever spent in my life. I honestly, it's now Tuesday. I've had it for a few days now. I've been able to get out there and examine it, look at it, and really process what happened and how I got it. And I mean, I'm stoked. I'm excited. What an awesome boat right there. It's a one of one. It's a hot rod. It's a custom made boat right here in Central Illinois, man. In 75 years, I'm the 3rd owner. Man, I'm going to try and put a good paint job on it. I'll probably keep it for a couple years as long as it floats and rides fun. And, who knows? Maybe I'll just keep it forever and see if it's something that I can pass down to my kids just because of the story behind it. But nonetheless, if I'm ready to ever get rid of it, I know somebody will pay $75 or more for that. So, and then I also sold a bunch of junk at that same auction, got rid of a bunch of junk that was sitting around here that I didn't need anymore, and I got a check coming in the mail for more than $75 for the stuff that I sold. So, I mean, let's be real. I mean, have you ever had a better deal than that? Have you ever had a better steal than a $75 boat and trailer? Probably not. But, I mean, I got it, and I'm stoked. I'm excited. What a cool situation. I don't ever get that lucky, so that's my story for you. Follow along, subscribe, do whatever, and I'll show you here in about a month or two when it's a little bit nicer weather and we take this down to the lake just down a few miles down the road and get her wet and see how she rides and how she is. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks for stopping by the homestead. We'll see you in the next one. Later.